Good evening, everyone. Thank you for finding the time to join us today. My name is Claudia Gotti. I am a senior web specialist for ADHD Online, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to our speaker tonight. Zachariah Booker, he's one of the founder and owners of ADHD Online. Zachariah is a dad, a husband, a business owner, and he happens to have ADHD. Zachariah is going to share with you tonight his story, his experience, um, his struggles, and his success. Our topic today is family, career, and finances, living with ADHD successfully. And before we begin, we're going to have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation to answer all your questions. So without further ado, here is our speaker, Zachariah Booker.
Well, thank you, Claudia. Yeah, and welcome everybody. Thank you for taking the time today to be able to view this webinar and learn a little bit more about ADHD in my journey through it as well. A little bit about me. I'm an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and I've got passion for helping the underserved. 20 years experience in doing this. I've recently turned my attention to the mental health crisis that we're seeing nationwide. And I work today with a great crew and shout out to everybody. We're doing amazing things for the community and really making a strong impact on everybody. So with that, we're trying to gain the community easier access to healthcare, especially within the ADHD community through assessments and treatment. A little bit of today, the agenda is family, finances, and career, and so the struggles, challenges that people face, that I faced. I have some stories to share, and then solutions. Some that I have not perfected, but that I have implemented. And what a great time to introduce these webinars through ADHD Online in October, because it's ADHD Awareness Month, and we're happy to offer these free resources to everybody to be able to now or in the future. Through ADHD is impactful to a large part of the population. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is a mental health disorder with persistent patterns of inattention, distractibility, hyperactivity, impulsivity. This disorder affects about 10% of the children in the U.S., percent of adults, with symptoms showing all across the board. Even with anxiety, depression, PTSD, OCD, a lot of these other factors included. And that puts a lot of challenges and stress on family. And if you have a significant other like myself, that definitely doesn't have ADHD and doesn't fully understand what it's like, but is an amazing counterpart to you. Shout out to them, because it's tough. It's tough. Some of the things that we experience are pretty amazing. We grow with a family and have children, like you see here. We have a great time being able to be a part of their life and watching them grow. But with that, it's very difficult for a lot of the members of the family that don't have ADHD to deal with the members of the family that do. And having the right expectations for ADHD is very important in understanding for positive growth and developing a narrative for your future with your significant other and children. So some of the challenges that we perceive here. This is a pic of my family around our dinner table, actually learning a lesson plan from homeschool, given the COVID crisis that's impacting us all across the nation. Our kids are experiencing homeschool for the first time this year. And my son in the yellow shirt there, he is a child that has ADHD. Similar to me, has some complications and frustrations with learning, and just needs a little bit more time to be able to understand what others may understand a little easier or faster. Some of the challenges that ADHD can throw at everybody is hyperactivity, especially in children. Hyperactivity is prevalent in children just because of a lot of things and energy that they've got pent up, and it can be difficult, especially in school. So it can affect other classmates as well. The inability to sustain attention is huge. Constantly distracted. We all get the reference squirrel, you know. We always we'll say that jokingly too to others. High impulsivity, a lot of impulsive nature, difficult reading social cues, organizing complications, forgetfulness, extreme impatience, emotional volatility. These are all factors and challenges that ADHD can present, and it's pretty it's pretty outstanding to be able to see this as an insider and understanding that it's a challenge. And that's one of the biggest things, is understanding that your hyperactive nature can impact others. One of the stories I have from a family aspect is one day the kids were playing in the pool, and my wife invited new friends over, and the adults were all, you know, in a quiet part of the area while the kids were swimming, and they were just, you know, having a great conversation. Except me, I got bored and I decided to go work in the barn. And my wife says, "Whoa," you know, she helped pull me back in and say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, you know what you're doing." And I go, "You know what? Thank you. I didn't know what I was doing at the time because I just felt bored and I needed to do something. I just couldn't sit." And it's something that is a solution for my ADHD, is having somebody there that can really see my weaknesses and help me grow and focus on my strengths. So some of the solutions that we help implement within our family and that our patients are experiencing is regular exercise. I mean, that helps with the hyperactivity, for example. Having regular exercise and getting that energy out is very important. Unplugging for family time, it's huge. As an executive, it's in a business owner, it's very hard to turn off. You're on all the time, day and night, just trying to help the team and the community with everything that you can do. Nutrition is huge. Eating healthy, living healthy, that's huge. Same with sleep. ADHDers, we'd have a tendency not to sleep as well as others, or require as much, but sleep is necessary. You know, they suggest 8 hours of sleep a night. Shared family schedule. This is a little easier given with technology today. They have developed the way to be your calendar and be able to block out time so that your teammates know that, hey, can't call me here. This is my unplugged family time. I won't answer my phone. I won't answer emails. This is designated focused for my family. Creating detailed routines. This is tough to do by yourself. And this is where opening a dialogue for ADHD is really helpful, because what we need to do is we need others around us to understand what we're experiencing and what we just can't really communicate as well. And creating these routines is very important, especially within a family sector. It's very important. I'm thankful that I have the people around me, including my amazing wife, that keeps me grounded and understands my limitations and my weaknesses, so that I can really focus on my strengths and it's really cool. So I encourage you to open a dialogue about ADHD or any complications that you're having with the people that you love and trust, peers, so they can help. Let's jump into finances. Finances is definitely top of mind for a lot of us Americans that work every day. We grind day in and day out to be able to provide for ourselves and for our family, for our future. And with that come an immense amount of challenges within finances and money. Disorganization, huge. You know, what did I buy yesterday? I can't tell you. I know I bought some food yesterday for the family. Yeah, but being organized, I should definitely know what I have. And thankfully, I have some solutions to be able to provide you guys. Impulsive buying, huge challenge. I'll share a story here. It was a gray out. It was sunny, 85 degrees, warm, and a beautiful day for boating. One thing I did not own was a boat. So I decided I should buy a boat. When? Right now. So I went online and I did about 10 minutes of research and found really an inexpensive boat, and I bought it that day. And then the next day, my family and we were out on a boat. It was an impulsive purchase. Another big one, 15 years ago, I bought a ring, a diamond ring, and I decided that I wanted to marry my now wife. And when did I want to marry her? Right now. So when I bought the ring, I had it in my hand and I said, I think I'm going to propose today. So I impulsively did today's the day. So there's some examples of impulsive buying. I'm sure you guys all have some ideas of impulsive purchases that you guys have had in the past. It's pretty crazy when you think about it in the past, like, wow, yeah, that didn't take long to be able to purchase such a large item, when it should really take a little longer of research and understanding what I'm buying further. So going into wasteful spending, big thing with ADHDers. We tend to spend a lot and management problems at the end of that, which result in damage to our credit. And in the past, you can see how going down that slippery slope of bad budget management can have some effects on the future, and some pretty bad effects. So some solutions that we've seen and that we've implemented within our own personal finances and family is we've created a centralized bill center to stay organized. So using ebooks or a platform like that for your personal finances is helpful. Having a 24-hour rule for impulsive purchases. Should I have waited 24 hours in deciding to buy a boat? Yeah, definitely. Yep. Having the ring, that worked out in my favor. I'm still married, which is what I'm thankful for, but definitely a risk. Ask yourself the need versus not question. This is constant. Even as children, I remember, your parents saying, do you need it or do you just want it? Well, I need it now. And I'd say that a lot and try to justify, but no, ask yourself truly, is it a need or a want? Using a free budget or accounting program. Going back, there's a lot of programs that we can use and utilize today. Apps, a lot of technology is at our hands to be able to utilize, including credit monitoring solutions. And everybody is surrounded and bombarded with advertisements for these. But honestly, some of these can help, especially when you need it and you don't know where to turn. So these are some of the solutions for finances. Let's go into career. So career is a big one. Career is something that impacts us all, whether you think you're in a job or you think you're in your career early stages, middle of your career, or retirement. Some of the challenges with the career, as you can see on the board, this is my mind as I have ADHD. I like to itemize everything and follow a flow. And I like to put my ideas on the board. And you can see a list, you can see arrows, you can see sticky notes all over the place. And this is an example of a sales funnel that I built with the help of some team members. But we put it all up on the wall, and it's pretty amazing when it's up there. But you can just see and imagine that being chaos. Some of the challenges in the career is showing up late for meetings. We have a C for bad time management as ADHDers, missing deadlines, being passed up for promotions, failing to complete a task before starting a new one. Office or personal space appears disorganized to the employer, missing social cues, even meetings. Like, that guy keeps rambling on. Probably has a lot to say because he's going to forget to say it if he doesn't say it right now. That's something that I definitely experience. To share a short story here, there were positions that I held in the past that I just didn't feel fulfilled in. The challenges were not engaging enough for my mind. I found myself just not the right person, the right seat. And that was really tough to know that I was in sort of this slump. Not everybody understood what I was in. I really didn't see much room for growth or opportunity for me to really exercise my mind. And in my career, I love to remain visionary. And a visionary is somebody that thinks of solutions with ideas and doesn't really know how to implement the ideas, but definitely see path to the solution and knows what to do. Just doesn't, as an ADHDer, we just really don't know how to implement it exactly. So this is where we lean on team members, and we'll get into that here shortly. So as we get into some of these solutions, you can see that as an ADHDer, you forget to do stuff like the slide and content. Thankfully, this was a mere example of trying to put a smile on face as we get into the real solutions. So living by a calendar and a schedule, very huge for us in our careers to be able to follow this calendar and schedule routine. Just like in the family, having that detailed, rigid routine is important, and being able to see what's up and be able to prepare and stay proactive. Having specific career goals in mind. This is very big. Being goal oriented for myself. I know what I want to do. Do I necessarily know how to do it? No. I lean on a lot of excellent team members that challenge me every day, and I can definitely take the opportunity to use this as a chance for delegating weaknesses and focusing on my strengths. Creating a task list is great. A great way to keep on task. Make cleaning up and organizing part of your daily routine. Great to stay rigid in that, given that your desk can become a mess sometimes. Counseling to help social cues. Counseling is huge. Leaning on psychologists. They know what to do to be able to get you to where you need to be. Consider request accommodations if you have been diagnosed with ADHD. Your employer has the ability to be able to help you with certain accommodations. And those accommodations usually require a diagnosis of ADHD. And exactly where we can help. So in conclusion, life without treatment versus life with ADHD treatment. Without treatment looks a little foggy. If you were diagnosed with ADHD as a child, you might have carried it into adulthood. As my family has shown, ADHD is hereditary. My son has it. My family before me, my generations before me have had it. And it's very important to understand mental health. So ADHD symptoms can cause a lot in day-to-day relationships, careers, finance, family. These risks, these long-term risks, if not addressed, can become a struggle for a lot of people. So ADHD can impact the success of your future, and you really need to understand exactly what's going on with your mental health. So it's life with treatment is a lot easier. Using the tools at hand with proper treatment to improve your attention, to improve your routine, to improve the understanding of your mental health is absolutely necessary. Therapy helps remove the limits, the mental blocks, confusion caused by ADHD. And besides ADHD, ADHD treatment can boost your self-esteem. Self-esteem is huge. Confidence is huge, especially in your career. And being able to take that next step confidently, knowing that you can handle it, is very important. Especially in relationships, living healthier and improving your life quality. I've definitely seen a huge impact with the treatment methods that I have implemented, the solutions that you've seen before that I've shared with you today. Diagnosis is the beginning of a better life. So understanding this and seeking a diagnosis through ADHD Online is extremely important. With ADHD Online, we have actually created the first and only asynchronous assessment, giving people the ability to take this assessment 24/7. Day or night, you can stop, start it. It's free to create a portal. The assessment is very dynamic. It's absolutely amazing to be able to give everybody easier access to healthcare. So if you haven't been diagnosed with ADHD, it's time to take action. A full diagnosis can cost you up to $2,500. Ours is only $149, which makes it very, very affordable. Our ADHD evaluation is, like I said, very dynamic. So we use our technology, which is HIPAA compliant, fully encrypted. It's not a quiz or a test. This is a full valid assessment that's nationally accepted by physicians. More benefits is we're currently providing diagnosis across all 50 states, which is huge. So everybody can seek the understanding of their mental health today. And we're launching medication management, virtual counseling, cognitive therapy, neurofeedback services, form completions like IEP, extra testing time, employer accommodations, like I mentioned before in the career section. We'll be launching medication management in Texas and Pennsylvania right now. And we're slated to offer it in all 50 states in the 6 to 9 months. So I want to thank everybody today for taking the time and understanding ADHD and how it impacts family, finances, and careers. And I want to take this time to open up for Q&A. So if we can, it jumped on me. Open up the Q&A section here. If it will let me, Claudia. Sorry, everybody. Let's see. You know, now I have the Q&A up. Let me come back to this. And you know what? Technology, isn't it amazing? Let's make sure that that I have these questions. All right. So one of the questions was, how early can children be diagnosed with ADHD? Great question. We see children usually from the ages of 6 and up, and ADHD is sometimes hard to see in kids because kids can be kids, and that's normal for a lot of high energy children. So understanding your kid from 6 years and older is very important. So next question is, does your assessment work for workplace accommodations? Absolutely. The assessment definitely works for workplace accommodations. And you can seek help from psychologists and physicians across the United States that also accept our assessment. I have a question here. I live in Texas. Do you prescribe Adderall? So in Texas, currently we have the ability for our patients to see physicians. And in Texas, we would advise you to seek a medication management visit with our physician to see if Adderall is right for you. Another question, another great one is, what happens after a diagnosis? Great question. So after a diagnosis, not only do you understand now your mental health, but you also can seek treatment of psychotherapy, medication management, other treatment methods that will give you accommodations, like we mentioned before, with your employer, or your kids will get extra testing time. As a child, that's huge. Another question here, is this private? I don't want my insurance company to list this as a diagnosis. Absolutely. So this assessment is only $149, and we're a cash-based healthcare company. So we do provide reimbursement for insurance if the patients seek the insurance reimbursements. We do help with that, but it is completely private. So we do the ability to share what you want. Another question is, how long should you wait to get reevaluated? Yes, so we suggest every 3 to 5 years, people get reevaluated for ADHD. Environments change, careers change, people can change, treatment works. And what we've noticed is we highly suggest our patients to seek out a new diagnosis at least 3 to 5 years. Another question here is, I saw NeuroPeak on your website. What is that? NeuroPeak is a strategic partner, great partnership here local to us, but they also service people across the United States. They help with neurofeedback and cognitive behavioral therapy, helping people even remote. So they've got some pretty great technology. Another question here is the assessment only for ADHD or does it cover ADD as well? Great question. So ADHD now comes in 3 forms: hyperactive, inattentive, or both. The ADD is replaced with the ADHD inattentive. So great question. Thank you. As I can see, no more questions, and I greatly appreciate everybody's time. Thank you, everyone, for giving us the opportunity to have this webinar, and I hope that it helps. Everybody have a great night.